Hi, my name's Andy Reese, and I want to tell you a short story. Carlos Santana was a lead guitarist for a great band for a lot of years, and he's a great guitarist and great musician now. When he was 10 years old, he was molested by his uncle for a number of years. And he shared with Rolling Stone magazine some years ago about how he battled against suicide. 7 times he came close. And he was despairing. And then he discovered something. Then he began to open his heart and turn his heart to Papa God, turn his heart to the goodness of God. He discovered something about forgiveness. I want to read something to you in his very own words. My God is a God of kindness and compassion. But we as people have free will, including the man who molested me. There's the flesh and there's the spirit. What happened to my body, not to me. It wasn't about me. The purity and the innocence is still intact. The Spirit has offered me a way out of this mother of insanity, because otherwise I would have been frothing at the mouth. Forgiveness is extremely liberating. You can be free. Carlos Santana discovered something after all those years that I want to just mention real briefly, and that is, there are people who did things to you. There are things that happened to you, and you were primarily an innocent victim of those things. What Carlos said here about the purity and the innocence being restored, his perspective on what happened after all these years says something very telling. And it says this: it's not what happened to Carlos Santana that caused this debilitation throughout his life until now. But it's what Carlos Santana believed about what happened to him. And it's how he held the perpetrator in anger and in judgment that kept he himself in jail or in prison. Carlos Santana discovered a great truth. One is that his perspective about his past was not God's perspective. And when he went to God and he said, God, what do you think about this? God, what do you think about me? Am I tainted? Am I destroyed? Am I damaged goods? God spoke to him and said, no. God said, your body was used, but your body's renewed every day. Every cell that was in your body at that time is gone. You're a new person. And that man that did that to you, he's the one with the problem, not you. You're my child. And Carlos Santana discovered that forgiveness was the key for he himself being free. If you're watching today and you're struggling over something that's happened to you, and you're struggling because you're angry about the person who did it, I'm here to tell you a couple things. One is that person did something horribly wrong. And forgiveness doesn't mean that it was right, and it doesn't mean that you have to restore a relationship with that person. It doesn't even mean you have to have kindly feelings toward that person. What it means is that you are willing to forgive a debt that was owed you by this person. For example, Carlos Santana could have said, Uncle, you owed me safety. You owed me companionship. You owed me to be an example. You owed me to be a safe relative. And you didn't pay. But today, I forgive the debt you owed me. You still owe it, but I forgive that debt. The second thing about forgiveness is that you refuse to judge anymore. Carlos may have said to his uncle, I have a right to judge you, but I give up that right because I don't know why you acted the way you did. Only God knows. Only God's omniscient. And so I give up my judgment of your motives and of your heart, and I give that judgment to God. The Bible says we'll be judged in the way we judge, and we don't know why people act. I don't know sometimes why I act the way that I do. The third thing about forgiveness I want you to know is that you give up your demand to get relief from the person who hurt you, and you look to God to heal the pain. In Carlos Santana's words, it might have been, Uncle, I stop looking to you to heal the pain in me, looking to you to make it right, looking to you to say the words that will set me free. I give up demanding that from you because you may not be able to do it. You may not be willing to do it. But the pain in me can be set free because of what Jesus Christ did. He bore our pain. He bore our suffering. And he made a way for us to sit with Papa God and to hear Papa God tell us the truth about what happened. I want to encourage you today to take those steps that Carlos Santana took. I want you to think about what happened and ask God to help you to forgive the person. Number one, cancel the debt that was owed. Just let it go. It won't be paid, so cancel it. Number two, give up your right and your demand to judge. You don't know why the person did what they did. Only God knows. Let him do all that. And thirdly, go to God to get your pain healed. The person themselves won't be able to heal it probably, but God will for sure. If you will take those steps, I will guarantee you, because I'm a product of that very same forgiveness and found tremendous freedom. It was like a weight that was on me was lifted, just like the story about Carlos Santana, where the weight on him was lifted, and for the rest of his days, there's peace. When he looks back at that memory, nothing changed. The memory's still just as true as it ever was, but Carlos changed. His view of the memory changed. He has peace when he looks back, and it haunts him no more. You can be free in that exact same way. God bless you.